Welcome everyone to our Matrix user training. Thank you to everybody who is here for the first time and to all of our friends who are joining us who have been using Matrix for a little while now. During this training, if you don't mind, just put your any comments or questions that you have into the chat, and we will answer those in after the first segment of the training ends today. As you guys know, mortgage technology is considered a lot of different things in this world. Sometimes it's frustrating, sometimes it's really like sexy and super fun. But for the majority of the people, what we're really looking for is a solution to so many of the things that we experience as mortgage originators. And we want to be able to have a streamlined technology stack that's going to show so much value, make people trust us, make them loyal to us, and show them something that they've never seen before. And when it comes to Neo, we hope that the thing that we're showing them is how incredibly different our approach to our relationship in mortgage is going to be. That we are not going to be somebody who's going to, just sell them debt, that we're going to get into a relationship that's going to provide value long term. But that can be a really complicated endeavor to promise if we're not all on the same page in how we do that. So, if you're using sort of the Neo way, that means that you're having a discovery call, talking to them about their dreams and goals. Then you go to that contract meeting. Once that's or the approval is there and they're out shopping, then you have that final contract meeting and get approval, the CD, all the things. And then at the end, we want to be able to say, hey, this is great. This all went really well. Our customer service manager is going to reach out. And then I'm always going to be looking for opportunities in the future. The problem is that alone is a pretty serious commitment to spending time with this customer and making sure that you're getting all of those things done. But it also is challenging when we're trying to build out sort of, and I'm using air quotes, sort of the Neo way. When you think about that, the fact that we have to kind of streamline all of those things across the board if we're going to be promising that we're going to deliver something that's really special. The reason that we have Matrix, and the thing I want you to always understand is you can call this a CRM, but that's not what we're going to build for you. What we're going to build is a place where we can run all of marketing, all kinds of different technology from one space. You haven't been part of that before, which is totally understandable. You've been working in the first two models, which is you've been asking for referrals, and chances are pretty high over the last few years. You've either been buying leads or paying for Zillow leads for your agents, whatever that is. What I will tell you is I want to move you to the third column because the third column is self-service. The third column means you're in charge of your business. And when we can actually start believing that once we put all the data in one place, that we're actually going to have the ability to calculate and give you opportunities left and right. If you believe that is the future of this business, then you are absolutely in the right place. Now, we're going to give you all of the tools for all three business lanes. But that third business lane is something you haven't really dipped a toe in yet. And it's where we're moving to with this platform. We used to believe that sales was something else. Okay. In 2019, 2020, 2021, you got so many leads, you had no idea what to do with them all. Right. And the ones you didn't get to, what are you going to do? Okay. It's a case of restaurant. There's enough business that I don't have to pay so much attention. So the old kind of idea of it was like, hey, if I get 50 leads, maybe 25 of them are interested, maybe 15 of them are going to buy a house, maybe 8 of those people are really serious about moving forward, maybe I can get 5 pre-approvals from that. And so you took 5 from 50. What I'm trying to tell you right now is I want all 50. I want all 50 in every single human being you ever encounter the rest of your life. Because what I know is that the funnel system that we used to believe in is antiquated. What we really are in right now on the right is the flywheel, which is every person, even your real estate agents, even your financial planners need to buy a house. So every single person you know can be not only a customer of yours, but a complete and total advocate for the way that you do business. You just haven't given them the keys to learn how to be that advocate yet, but you will because you're using this system. When you hear about the Matrix tech stack, a lot of times it's easy to say, like, oh, that looks really overwhelming. So let's make sure that you understand where you come in to this tech stack and where you don't. Matrix tech stack consists of ADM as the CRM, Automator as the digital marketing and content solution, FinLocker or the Neo experience is the phone app, Updater, which is going to help your customers know how to change their utilities over and change their mailing address and change their cable, things like that. Homebinder, that's going to be a hub of how to take care of their house and also a great place for all their documentation. Homebot, that's going to continually tell them about their equity moving forward, and then experience.com. So when you look at that stack, it looks like a lot of things. Now, let's break this down. Number one, Matrix is just the name of the stack, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Experience.com is automated once you close, and so you don't have to worry at all about how to manage experience.com. It's already been built out for you. Homebot, every bit of the information you have about Homebot right now is every bit you'll need. Now, do you want to do more deep dive into Homebot? That's fantastic. That's great. I would love for you to do that, but you don't have to. Homebinder and Updater are set up automatically. Once you sign up for Matrix, those things are going to be going out on your behalf. Do I want you to know like the ins and outs of Homebinder? Sure, that'd be great, but you don't have to because it's being done on your behalf. So already we've gotten rid of almost the whole stack. So really the three things we're going to concentrate today on are FinLocker, ADM, and Automator. And those are the three things we really want to focus on and pay attention to. And the reason I show you this graphic again is to show you I could teach you all of these things and how they all work and what they all do, or I can just layer their need into the experience that we provide. That's a lot easier. When we are all on the same page with how we're going to do it as well, that changes the game because I'll be able to say, hey, once we have our dreams and goals call, this is going to be the next step. But it's going to require all of us sort of being on that same page. And a lot of you are doing it this way. A lot of you are learning to do it this way. So until we're 100% cohesive, what we're going to be doing is offering the best possible loan experience that someone can have. When you hear the Neo experience, we use a lot of things here like the Neo experience, the Neo way, things like that. When you hear the words the Neo experience, that is typically referring to the app that they have on the phone. If you do not have the FinLocker app, what you want to do is you want to go to your Google Play Store or your iTunes Store and you want to download the Neo Experience app. This app is wonderful for you to go through as a user. What a perfect way for you to understand how it's going to work for your customers. Obviously, it's mobile. It's one place that the customer can go. It's integrated with Homebinder. Make sure that all of their documents are there. Make sure that their accounts are going to be tied together. I mean, it really is a great place for them to know where they stand in terms of home readiness. Now, that comes into play when it comes to credit monitoring, when it comes to like relocation services, when it comes to budget management. There's a thing on there for mortgage readiness so that they can actually go through and ask themselves some really important questions about whether or not they really are ready to take on this home. But it's also going to let you have somebody where their information is safe, it's not resold, and it's a great way to get them really proactively thinking about how to get from where they are to being a homeowner. So this is a great one for you to learn. Now, in the Matrix tech stack, we have all of the tech broken down. So when you go to the matrixtechstack.com and you look under vendors, FinLocker has its own spot. Not only can you ping FinLocker support right from the site, you can go to the FinLocker website and learn all kinds of information about how to use FinLocker, as well as view any of the training that they have. But what we do is we explain what it does, we show how the customers use it, we tell you how you can build business with it, how to set it up, and where the training is. So you never have an excuse for I don't know where to go to get this because it is all in one place for you on the Matrix Tech Stack site. So if you have any questions around FinLocker or any of our vendor partners, what do they do? What are you sending out? What does it look like? You can always come here to this website so that we're 100% sure that you know where you're going. So that to me is the one ancillary thing I want you to kind of learn is the FinLocker app. If you have just signed up with Matrix and you haven't received your code yet, that's okay. Just let us know. Email us at matrixhelp@goluminate.com and we will make sure that you have your code. That code is incredibly important for you to invite your customers, invite your real estate agents, and invite random strangers that you know to download the app and use your code. Now we're going to be taking a look at Automator and Adium. Now, Automator and Adium. Adium is what is known as the hub. The CRM is the hub of the machine. Within Adium and Automator, you're going to have almost everything you need in order to do business. Matrix is going to provide for you a website. That website is going to be editable by you. It's going to have 3 brand new articles every week that you can use in your marketing. You're also going to be able to have your video right through Adium. You have your pre-written texting as well as texting that you want to have. All of your content is written over there. Your CRM seat is over there. We're working with the marketing department with a company called Maxa to make it so that your actual like your marketing department will actually be built into Adium. You have all of your celebratory emails and reminders, all your lead integration, your email strategy, your team management, and ringless voicemail. You get all of that in the system. That's built into Adium with Automator. When you sign into Adium, this is exactly where you're going to be doing business every day. It would be my absolute hope that you would spend all day long in Adium. This is where you truly run your business. And when you're using it effectively, it's going to tell you how you're going to do business. Ben is going to walk through all of Adium so that we understand the 101 because this is where we do the work. Okay, you don't sign into anything else with Matrix. You just sign into Adium, and that is where we've housed everything for you. I want to go over some of the Automator stuff for you guys so that you have some clear idea of where those two things are separated. Automator is going to provide you with the website that you have. So the website is the very first part. It's mobile friendly, it's great. If you want to customize your website, if you received it and you're like, gosh, I'd really love there to be a different picture, I want to add some video, I want to do some stuff, I want to make some changes. If you go over to the training tab on the Matrix Tech Stack site, we have broken down exactly the directions you will need to make sure that you have everything that you need right there. So please know that you can absolutely customize your website to your heart's content, and the directions to do so are right here on the page. Your website is going to come to you with hundreds of articles already built in, multiple hundreds of articles, meaning that if you wanted to post one of these articles every single day on your social media, it would take you from now until at least a year from now to run out of blogs. These are all connected to all of the marketing that you do, which is why they're incredibly important. Because Automator offers you an omni-channel marketing strategy, meaning that there are emails. Those emails have a call to action to be taken over to your website. The websites all have interlinking articles. So if somebody wants to spend a long time learning all about the nuances of lending, they certainly can. And then we also have all of your text messages pre-written for you. They are incredibly effective. The people who are in the Matrix user group right now are so surprised by the amount of texting that they're receiving back. But this is the cadence and the tested success of this system. So we know exactly when to ping people, how, and why. We also want to make sure that we are always putting our best foot forward, no matter what that has to do with. We want these emails to look sharp, to sound intelligent, to be timely, to make sure that no matter what we tell people, that they can learn more information should they choose. And that we're representative of all human beings in the marketing that we put out, whether that is old people, young people, white people, black people, we have gay couples, we have single women. It doesn't matter. We want to make sure that everyone is represented in what we do every day. I understand that Chat GPT is pretty much the sexiest thing anyone can say right now, that and AI and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, oh, anybody can write these emails. Okay, well, anybody could, sure. Here's the thing about what we created for you. You definitely need to understand a tremendous amount of psychology and buyer psychology when it comes to how to write content correctly. We take into consideration a tremendous amount of information when we write these emails because we understand sales. And sales, having people who write content for you who understand sales is everything because we're not afraid to bring up the objections. We're not afraid to understand that different people have different buying rules in that person's life. You know how important your parents can be to these people when they're looking for houses. We want to make sure that what we're doing is providing an absolute solution to a human being who comes to you and meets you. What is that human being going to do from a business perspective with you long term? Every human being you encounter should have that plan. They don't right now because you haven't thought about business that way before, but they will in the future because it's going to be incredibly important to do so. You're welcome to have as many custom automations as you would like to build. In fact, they will definitely ADM will show you till the cows come home how to build an automation. But you already have tons and tons of pre-built campaigns ready for you at all times. If this is the first time you've ever looked at what Matrix offers, then please know there are a lot of things over here that but they're named what they should be named because all we ask you to do on behalf of Automator is give us the name, email address, phone number of this human being and put them on a campaign. Let at least the system sell for you in the background while you're trying to get this person to um, become a customer or while they're in the process of looking for a home. Most of the campaigns are named exactly what they are. I don't think I have to convince you that home renovation campaign is for home renovation loans. But there are some that are named different things, right? So when you look at purchase lead campaigns, please understand that that just means lead campaign. That just means any lead that you have that you haven't got on the phone yet. There are aggressive ones, there's less aggressive ones. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that that person gets on the phone with you. And then the left-hand side, we have all of the buyer specific journeys and campaigns that we offer. If someone is not ready to move forward, there's going to be a lot of options that we are going to have for them, including the missed opportunities campaign, which right now is actually becoming a adopt the loan missed opportunities campaign, where you're going to be telling people like, you decided not to move forward with me, but I still want to be part of your life. I still want to give you the kind of experience that you're going to have here at Neo. Obviously, credit improvement campaign, all kinds of different things that are there to really provide support for the regular campaigns that are there. And then on the right hand side, you'll see the business building campaigns. If you would like to be a preferred lender for a builder, why not put them on the builder introduction? Financial professionals goes out to all those financial planners that you're working with. Tons of different campaigns. And I'm going to point out one here just because I think it's super important. It's called the new business contact. And literally all that is you meet a human being who gives you their business card, put them on the new business contact campaign. And literally the system just sets you guys up to like follow each other in social media. And you ask what makes a good referral for them and tells them a little bit about what it is that you do. But that person then is always going to be in your database moving forward. I cannot stress this enough to you. If you do not hear me say this, hear me say this. I don't care who the people are, put them in your database. A year from now, what I'll be able to do just with data, if you listen to me say that sentence and really follow it, will blow your mind. I promise you that. Put every single person in your database. When you hear all that stuff, you think, oh, that looks like a lot of stuff. I don't know how I'm going to do all that stuff. But technically, all I did was show you the things that were inside of Automator. What you do with Automator is you add a person, put them on a campaign, and then manage what their next step should be. Meaning, if they're 6 months away from buying, set yourself up a task to call them in 6 months, or just decide what you're going to do with every human being in there. That's the key right now. We call it beta right now, and it's because we're putting all the pieces of it together while this is all happening. But truly, that is all you are required to do with this system. What Automator does on your behalf is a whole other ballgame. When you assign a campaign to a buyer, so let's say this is a first-time home buyer and you put them on the first-time home buyer campaign, Automator is going to send them amazing emails and texts about how they can become a really good first-time home buyer. It's also going to thank the real estate agent in an email with the name of the buyer and talk about what you're going to do to get this person nurtured up to become a great first-time home buyer. You're also going to send them a text to say thank you for the referral. It's also going to send them a email and a text in the middle of the campaign about 2 or 3 weeks in and just checking to see how the house hunt is going and asking for another referral. And then at the end of the campaign, it'll say, hey, I've had John and Sally on this campaign for a while. I know you guys were looking for homes. What should my next move be? And that way, if you need to tag on the follow-up campaign so you're still in front of them. Or if they decided maybe now is not the time to buy, then you need to come up with another strategy for that person. Automator is also in the background marketing to agents, marketing to the buyers, creating trust and loyalty, sending incredible updates throughout the loan process. And it's going to become, ADM and Automator are going to become the hub for your customer service management, for all those people to leave notes. And so it truly is going to be one place where all of your customer data is going to live. As that loan is going through the process, after it goes under contract, as it goes to processing, the thing I highly recommend you do is you watch the in-process training that is in the Matrix Tech Stack site. But I do want to show you the difference between regular systems and our system. Okay. So when you right now will order an appraisal, if you're lucky, Jungo or whatever CRM you used to be using, says like, we ordered the appraisal. Thanks. And that's the end of the day. Everybody gets that. Okay. In our system, we say to the borrower, an appraisal has been ordered. And then we explain to them what an appraiser is and what they're going to do when they go and how to read an appraisal report, how to understand what's going on. To the loan officer, we're like, hey, you had this appraisal note ordered. Make sure that you know what you need to do next. To the buyer's agent, we say, hey, the appraisal was ordered. Do me a favor. Don't drive me crazy until I tell you it's time to drive me crazy, because the underwriter is going to have to look at that. I mean, it says it in a way nicer way. And then the seller's agent, it says, hey, we ordered this appraisal. It doesn't mean that's been scheduled, but make sure that all your ducks are in a row for this thing to appraise. So as you can tell, it's a very different strategy for each and every person who's part of this journey. And there are hundreds of emails that go out in that in-process workflow to different people at different times. Hundreds may be a lot, maybe like 60. No, it's probably more than that, actually, now I think about it. Everything I'm going over right now exist in smaller trainings on the training section of the Matrix Tech Stack site. I just want to make sure you understand how important these things are, because everything you would want to know or anything you're confused about, it all lives right here. It all lives in video form. It all works in written word. It's all right here for you to use at all times. And all you have to do is go to that resource. I'd mentioned before that there are going to be different tools that we're going to layer into the experience at the right time so that you don't have to. One of those big moves right now is with HomeBinder. We are working with them to really weave in and out of this process to make sure that people know where their account is and how they can use it. Some of you who, especially the people who have studied HomeBinder or come to the trainings, you know that you can pretty much have like a squad in there, right? Your realtor and that squad of professionals that the realtor trusts. As we move forward, we're going to keep doubling down into this concept where We're not selling you as a one and done transaction. Instead, we're selling the experience of working with us as mortgage planners as a lifelong process where we're always looking out for the best interest of the investment and the equity in the investment. And so that is going to be a huge part of our future. And it's definitely a very cool part of the system. HomeBot is automatically going to start sending out once that loan is closed. And as you know, if you've used HomeBot, they're going to be giving, basically the idea of how much the home is going to be worth. This is the very beginning of my journey with HomeBot. And not that I've not, that's a strange way to put that sentence. I've known HomeBot since back before any human being knew them, and they just had like a little table and a cardboard cutout. But at the same time, people use HomeBot for HomeBot. People use all of these different technologies for themselves. I don't care about any of these technologies with the exception of the data that they can provide. And I know that's not how you use it yet, but it will be how you will use it because what I'm more interested in HomeBot is understanding what it does at the front end. What I'm more interested with HomeBot is understanding how I can take the data and put it into something that's really going to be useful for people. Not that the HomeBot report isn't great, but like, is this all we want to do? How else can we engage with this borrower so they're checking in with us more often? I think some of that is going to be taking the report from HomeBot and also building it into sort of a portal. But look, that's down the line. I'm just letting you know there's a lot of plans when it comes to what we're going to do with HomeBot. The I think one last thing I'm gonna kind of review for you before I let Ben kind of walk you through the system is there is a tremendous amount of realtor marketing that is available inside this system. It's incredibly important that you know what that realtor marketing is, especially right now. Anyone who's in the beta 1 group has been going through their database, making sure that all of their realtors are marked and making sure that they're getting the kind of marketing that the LO would want them to get. Now, you can ask me, how come we can't just make that decision ourselves? We can. Here's the problem. I don't know that Sally Smith hates you or that you guys got in like a boxing match over something one time. I don't know who these people are. And so I can't exactly make that decision for you. But I do want to make sure that you see that obviously we talked about the thank yous that are automated. We set expectations and crush expectations with the communication during the in process workflow. We have monthly marketing that goes out to the agents called the agent newsletter. And we also have weekly marketing to your very, very best agents. If you just met an agent, you can put them on the new agent campaign. We're going to be reminding them of birthdays, of loan anniversaries. I mean, there's so much that we're going to do to make sure that this realtor is definitely wanting to work with you. But when you think about the way that you can broaden your sphere, what I want you to remember is everyone you know in the world should be in your database. Your family, your neighbors, your friends, the people you go to church with, anyone you've ever worked with, literally any human being you've ever known. That's not because I care about that today. It's because in 6 months, when I can tell you that your neighbor just put their house on the market and you jump in front of them to make sure you can get them pre approved for the next house, you're going to be like, holy crap, I get it. And I'll go, I know. So we want to make sure we're putting every human being into our CRM. When it comes to like the tools that you have, you can always offer them the Neo Experience app or HomeBot if they want to know what their house is going to be worth. Whatever it is you want to sell it with, just make sure that you put everyone in there. For new agents, when you're out in the world meeting new agents, and hopefully you had the opportunity to come to our agent training on Monday. If you haven't, by all means, check it out in the Matrix Tech Stack site under training. If you meet a new agent, put them on the new agent campaign. Let that campaign introduce them to Neo and to the Neo experience. Then have that person get monthly marketing from you. Make a plan and a strategy for yourself of how you're going to convert this new agent into somebody who's going to give you a referral. For your current agents, if you haven't had a referral from one of your agents in the last 3 months, set them up on the Realtor Re-Engagement campaign. It reminds them of why you're so awesome and asks how you can help build their business. That's also going to talk to them about the Neo experience. And if this is a really good agent, we want to make sure that they're getting the monthly marketing. And this is one of your best agents, make sure that they're on the weekly marketing. And then financial planners. Once you meet with them, put them on the financial planner campaign, introduce them to the Neo experience, and assign them to the consumer newsletter. They own a house, so you can be reaching out to them every single month. So much of what we do every single day is making sure that you're in front of people, that you're putting your best foot forward, that we're showcasing the kinds of things that we're doing at Neo. It may not be the perfect marketing for you, but it is better than the nothing that's currently happening. So we want to make sure that we're in front of people, that there's an expectation of what they can get, and making sure that we're in front of them with really good information. So Ben is going to walk us through Adium. And I want to make sure that you see this, because if you're going to say, like, this is too hard, I want you to know, beyond signing in and making sure your data is in there, you want to make sure that you tag your agents, and Ben's going to show you how to do that and show you how to tag people. You want to make sure, if you just started, that your texting is on and your Outlook is connected. Make sure that you know how to create a task for yourself and learn how to manage the loans inside of it. That is all there is to this system. Everything else is going to be automated on your behalf. But it's important for you to get to know those pieces and parts for sure. This training, along with every single training we ever do, will be under the training section of the Matrix Tech Stack site. Please make sure that you understand the campaigns that are inside of this as well. All of those are spelled out, and they all have training around them. So you can always make sure that you take a look at those, and that is going to help you a lot. I'm going to hand it over to Ben right now. I'm going to tell him he's going to be ready to go, but I do want to show you one thing. This is not what I would build if I was building it from the ground up. But this is a great first start for us to get on the same page and to give us something incredible. As we move forward, we're going to be giving you a best in class technology stack. There's no question whatsoever. But just keep in mind that this is the very beginning. This is our first full step into the situation. But as we move forward, it's going to be really, really great. And Ben, I'm going to hand this over to you to talk us through how they can familiarize themselves with Adium, because obviously that's one of the biggest and most important parts of the system, and it's the hub where everything goes.
Cool. Yeah. And before I get started, I actually wanted to piggyback on what you had talked about earlier about using AI to build emails and things like that. I actually, literally right before this meeting, I was given a demo of somebody who built an email building app specifically for the mortgage industry using AI.
Mm-hmm.
And they were showing it to me, and they typed in something like, help me provide information to a previous customer about a refi. And the email was not only non-compliant, it was formatted horribly. It looked terrible.
Yeah.
It brought in images of a Subaru, and there were statements in it that were actually illegal to say to someone. So AI is a long way away from being useful for the mortgage industry, especially when it comes to writing content. So everyone on the call, I assume, is a current user?
I mean, they're a current user, or they could potentially be somebody who's rolling out this week or next week.
Okay, cool. And so for the folks that are rolling out in the next week or so, we will contact you directly, and we'll set up a little bit of a time in small groups in order to help you get your email connected. And so once you are logged in, this is what it will look like. It starts right off by showing you your dashboard. Now, once we have your Encompass connected, you will start seeing loans roll in there, and you will also see some of this information start to populate, like what's going on in your pipeline right there. You also see things like total leads as leads come in from Encompass, and you add those manually. And you also see some things organized by statuses as well as transactions or loans by statuses. So want to be really clear, within Adium, they do call loans transactions because it sort of is a transaction. And as you scroll down, you'll also be able to see recent communications, whether they're email or SMS messages. You'll see a little icon right there. And you can click to go directly to those contacts. And then you'll also be able to see who you have on nurture campaigns. So starting out right below dashboard is contacts. This is where all of your contacts will live. You have a couple of different ways of viewing those. It seems a lot of people really prefer this pipeline view where you can see all of your contacts organized by their current status. And one of the nice things about it is that you can actually drag and drop them between statuses. And if you clicked on a contact, it will go into the contact detail, which will show you just about all the information that you need. While this is loading, I find this a perfect time to talk a little bit more about the loading speed. I actually just had a meeting a few hours ago with the developers out in Germany, and they were talking about all the things that they're currently working on to make things faster. So in the next 2 weeks, we will see load times go from anywhere from 2 to 10 seconds to under 1 second each is the goal by the end of 2 weeks from now.
You all heard Ben. Okay, hold on to that sentence. But we are aware that there's a little bit of a lag, as this thing, as everyone has transferred over to the platform from Daily AI, all that kind of thing. It is definitely put a little bit of a slowness to it, but they are working on lots of things in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited.
So within a contact record, of course, at the top, you'll see their name and their email. Right here is where you can update their status, quick and easy. And then also across the top, you can shoot them a quick text message as well as an email. Looks like I don't have a phone number set up on there, so we'll just jump in email right there. You can give it a subject and you can just start typing, and your email signature will automatically populate as soon as you click send email. So it's as simple as that to send a quick communication. And the great part about having that email integration with your Outlook is that every message you send from Adium will show up in your sent items in Outlook and vice versa. So if you send an email out of Outlook and there's a contact within Adium, it will automatically connect that email that you sent. So there is the communication history that we've just kind of touched on. You can sort by email or text. Then the next one over here is tags. This is an awesome area that is a great way to keep your contacts organized, regardless of what their status is and what their type is. So right here, you'll see I have tags for Realtor Newsletter and Weekly Realtor Review. That probably means that this contact is actually a real estate agent. So I'm actually going to click right there and I'm going to start typing Realtor, because that obviously means they're a Realtor as well. So you can add as many individual tags to a contact as you want. Additionally, in fact, you can create new tags on the fly. So if you want to even further organize your contacts, you don't have to go into settings. You can just start typing a new tag and then click create, and it automatically creates that tag. It takes a couple seconds to add, and it will be there forever. Additionally, we can add a task. Tasks are a great way to keep track and fulfill the promises that you make. By default, it goes to do as the status. So let's give it a subject. We can choose the task type, whether it's a call, an email, a text, or other. And then you can assign it to a user. This is great if you have other team members. And then we can give it a due date. If you want to give further instructions, description is a great place to do that, especially if you are on a team. Then you just create the task, and there you will have it until it's due. This will show up in your dashboard as well as down here in tasks. Now, if we wanted to assign or link another contact to it, so if this was a referral from someone else, you would just click the plus sign, choose that it was referred by, and then choose the contact right here from the dropdown. If you want to assign a nurture campaign, that happens right here in automations. Go ahead and click right there in an automation, and you can just search for the campaign you want to assign. And I'm searching for new agent, and all you have to do is click on it, and there is the automation. This is the nurture campaign. Then you just click OK. And that will automatically assign it, and emails will start going out. And if that nurture campaign has text messages, those will go out when they are timed as well. In this bottom section right here will be where you will see any loans that are associated with this contact. And then also, if you want to add any notes specific to this person, you can certainly do that right here. You can format it if you want to, and just click save. And then you can add another note and just continue on like that. So that is a pretty good tour of a contact. If you wanted to also update any information like phone numbers or email address, there's this bright yellow button at the very top. You can just click, open up more options. You have multiple emails, multiple phone numbers. There's that contact status again. And then you can also give things like a birthday, loan anniversary, employer name, job title, physical address. And then you can also reassign the contact to someone else on your team if you want to.
Hey, Ben, can I interrupt you for 1 second? You there?
So,
I'm going to let Kelly answer that.
am I supposed to type those into the chat window? But yes, you can ask a question.
Do you know if they're working on a batch sort option in contacts at all?
What can you go into more detail what a batch sort is?
Like having an open box where you can go in and click multiple contacts for the same sort and just shove them over at once versus a drag and drop for each individual contact?
I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what that means. We can answer this in the at the end.
Yeah,
if that's possible
for sure. Give us just a second, Tim. Okay.
Okay, below the contact section is communications. This is where you can see any communications that are going out or in based on the contacts. So you'll be able to see that Sven Tessman was sent a communication just about 1 minute ago. Remember, we assigned that nurture campaign, so that's right there. And then we can see anything else that went out, and you'll also see a timestamp of when the last message was sent or received. Below that is transactions. This is where all your loans live. This is where your Encompass sync comes in handy. You, again, just like with contacts, you can switch views from this list view over to a pipeline view to see where all of your loans are in your loan pipeline. I'm in a demo account, so I don't have that many loans in there. Of course, you can click on it to view more details. You can also edit any of these fields within here.
Just go a little slower.
Oh, okay. Additionally, you'll see related contacts all listed right here. Some of these sync in automatically from Encompass, like the co-borrower, buyer's agent, seller's agent, title, things like that. Now, when it comes to transaction coordinators, these do not sync in from Encompass, but we do communicate with them. So if you have a buyer's agent that has a transaction coordinator, let's go ahead and add it right there. As long as they already exist as a contact in your database, you just click, start typing the name, it will auto-populate, you click on that contact, and now this transaction or loan has a buyer's transaction coordinator who will receive the same type of communications as the buyer's agent. And if you make any changes here, just make sure you click save. One thing to be clear on that, since I showed you, if you update something that automatically comes in from Encompass, like if you say, you change the loan amount in Adium, if Encompass has a different number, we'll always listen to what Encompass says because Encompass is the legally correct as far as we are concerned. Beneath that is automations. Kelly touched on this. This is where all of the nurture campaigns live, the in-process workflow, everything like that. I'm not going to go into details on this, but what I can ask you is that if it is something that already exists in here, we ask that you do not bother opening it or editing it, mainly because you may break something.
Yeah, let's make sure that we 100% have that sentence clear. If you look under automations and you see that one of our automations is already built for right now, the way that they have them set up, please do not attempt to edit them in any way. Believe me, there's a whole reason behind that, but we're working with ADMs to make sure that you cannot touch any of these. Because if you touch any of them, unfortunately, you will probably break them. So for right now, if you see something in here, these are all written really well, I promise. Just make sure that you don't edit them.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Beneath this is a great task view where you can see, just like the contacts and loans, where it's kind of in this pipeline view. So if you have a task right here, you'll be able to see it, you'll be able to open it, edit it right there. But additionally, you can just say, okay, well, I don't have any notes for this, I'm done. You can just drag it over to done, and that's it. It'll automatically mark it as done. It'll fall off your normal task list, your dashboard, and it'll show as complete in the contact record. Additionally, you'll be able to switch over to team tasks. If you have other team members on there, you'll be able to see those tasks as well. And you can see right here, I have one that's assigned to Eddie. I'm not Eddie, but Eddie's on my team, and I can see his tasks. I can also complete them. So if you have an LOA or a production partner, it's absolutely a great idea to have them an account as well. That way they can help you with all the things you need to do, but also assign them to themselves, and you can assign things to them. Underneath that is going to be team settings. These are going to be a lot of settings that you probably won't be overly interested in. However, I do want to point out a few different things. First is integrations. Now, this is part of the onboarding process, but if for any reason you do not have an SMS phone number or CRM phone number set up, let's go ahead and get that added for you. If you don't have it and you want it, just let us know and we will help walk you through getting that set up, including a forwarding number. The reason why we want to add a forwarding number is so that if anyone dials this number, this is specific for SMS or text messaging. So if somebody calls it, we want it to go somewhere. And in our case right now, what I do is I just have it forwarded to my cell phone. So if anybody dials this number, I'll get a call on my cell phone. I'll be able to answer it. If somebody sends me a text message, I'll get a notification on my cell phone saying, hey, you got a text message from Kelly Yale. And so I'll be able to open up the app, view the text message, and respond to it. You can also add multiple numbers for forwarding. This is great if you're on a team as well, or if you want to have an office phone, then go to your cell phone. Additionally, right here in Encompass integration, we want to help you get this set up correctly. So if you are not connected to Encompass for any reason, let us know. We will get you connected. There's nothing you need to do. We'll do it for you. Now, below that is going to be contact statuses. You should have a good set of contact statuses in here already. If you do want to add one, you can right up here with the yellow button. I don't necessarily suggest that because tags are a much better way to keep your contacts organized because you can add as many of these as you want. And to add tags, we showed you how to do it on the fly within a contact record, but you can also do it right here. You can add a new one, or if you have one that you want to edit, you can just click on edit, change the wording, or if you don't need one anymore, you can always choose delete. However, if you delete one, it will remove it from any contact that may already have it. Now, below this is the last thing I really want to review with you, and this is your personal user profile. When you click on that, if you don't see your headshot, go ahead and click upload image and find your headshot and throw it in there. If anything, at least you'll see a pretty face down there at the bottom left whenever you use it. Right here in personal details, feel free to edit this. If you want to use a nickname, go ahead and do that. You want to update your job title, go ahead and do it right there. Just click save when you're done. Demographic details, very simple. It's just your physical address. You should keep it at whatever is you are legally required to use. Underneath that is business information. You should already have your NMLS ID, your company name, and your team name. Feel free to edit that team name. If you have a Calendly account, be sure you add the link to your Calendly scheduling page right there. Same with application link. Go ahead and make sure your application link is set up correctly. Now, your website link. This is the one thing that I have to ask you, please do not edit. The main reason is that the Matrix and Automator created you a website. This website URL has to be exactly as we added it there. The main reason is we use this website link to populate every call to action in every single email and or text message that goes out. So this must be accurate. But otherwise, if you have a reviews link, whether it's Zillow, Google, Experience, whatever you prefer to use or whatever you're approved to use, please add that review link right there. And same thing, social media, add your Facebook for business, your Instagram, and your Twitter accounts right there if you have them. Last setting, and then I'm finished. Right here in integrations, if you do not have your email integrated, please let us know. We will walk you through integrating your Outlook with Adium. And that's it for now.
So if we go back, guys, can you show them how to add a contact? Sorry, that would be great.
So right here in contacts, all I have to do is click on the add contact button. And we can just start typing. Give it a first name, a last name, and then choose the type. You have two options, client or partner. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and add a partner. Be sure to enter their phone number and then also an email address. Just like that. Then down here, you can connect a referral contact if you want to, right there. Also, if you have their birth date, please enter that. You can give them any other information that you would like to, also reassign to another person on your team, but that's all you have to enter. And once you click save, I'm actually going to go back to the pipe or to the list view, because list view will throw that right there at the top where now you can click on it, go into the details. One of the things you may have noticed is this kind of pale blue little box that pops out every once in a while. Every time I do an action, it gives you this feedback right here, letting you know that it was captured. So from here, I can go ahead and add any tags that I want. So this person is going to be a realtor, and I'm also going to put them on the realtor newsletter. And then from there, I can go ahead and add them to an automation if I want. If this were somebody that I maybe just met or just had a great closing with, I could add them to the new agent campaign. But otherwise, I'm just going to give them a status of agent. And that's it. This person will automatically receive the realtor newsletter once a month.
I want to kind of go into something that Craig Strent just asked, because he was asking about like his referral partners, his clients, being able to tag them correctly. You can have as many custom tags as you want. You can call anything, anything. So when you're thinking about the way that your system is going to work and how you want to search through your system, you can put anything inside a tag. So if you want that to be like, best financial planners, or, whatever that is, if you have a group of financial planners at one company and you want to have them tagged as like ABC financial planning, you can do that as well. So it's really set up to let you decide how you want to have people marked in the system. So that's its job is basically to provide you with the tools so that you can do whatever you want for your business.